Greetings and welcome to Michael Solo-Based Jackson's pre-Week 8 NFL podcast. Alright, let's get right into the data. Right now, I would like to talk about the Save Mar model, a little bit about that. Basically, this is a model that I started working on earlier on during NFL last year and had some pretty good success, but I was still using another model as my primary model. And after I started examining the data, things really started to look good. So here's how it went. This year we unveiled the model. I unveiled the model to clients and told them we would specifically and exclusively be betting this model from now on in week 5 after 2 years of research and development. I said it would be the greatest achievement in sports gambling to date by me. Now here's what people said about it. A lot of people were pretty positive, and I really thank those for believing in me and what I have done. And my track record kind of speaks for itself a little bit, so I appreciate most people's confidence in me in that regard. Negatively, and I quote, I heard, and I quote, "You are completely full of shit. Good luck with risking 80% of your roll, Ace." Also, I was compared to Brandon Lang and other scam decappers, and have gotten a whole bunch of hate mail, ridicule, humiliation, and embarrassment. But since then, the model has gone 5-3 in week 5, 6-3 or 6-4 depending on your Colts line in week 6. If you got it at -3, it was a push. -3.5, some TSG clients who bet it early. Then you got a loss. And it was 7-2 in week 7. Even amongst this 7-2 week, I was still getting hate mail about the model. Hilarious. So that is 69.2% or 66.7% again, depending on what you got the Colts line at. So now the haters have kind of faded away just a bit, but I know they're waiting in the wings, just waiting to pounce, waiting for me to have a bad week and jump all over me. But I think they're to be waiting for quite a long time. Here's my response. Scoreboard. That's right. Week 8. We have 9 plays, and I would like to talk about the bet percentage because different client levels have different betting methods, things I recommend differently. A couple people who have bought into the model, mostly non-TSG clients, they really wanted to go big once they saw the results, and I pulled back the curtain a bit and they saw the data from the last year or so, and the worst case scenario was it was one game under 500. The worst week it's ever had is 6-7. So even if you bet 100% of your roll and went 6-7, well, you know, it's really not that bad. So it's kind of your worst case scenario. So some people are on what I call the 70% diet, where they're putting 70% of their roll out since week 5. They have won big. A lot of other people have said, well, we don't like having our rollout, that much of our roll out there, so I kind of put that out as well. Think about what works best for you. That would be my advice. Now, another thing is the Save Mar model has been applied to NBA and NHL. NHL right now is not looking so good. What I think is the model is really geared toward against the spread type sports. So we'll be focusing more on NBA right now until I get a little more data in NHL and can extrapolate a little bit more. And against the spread sports, I have a little more to draw on. So I think we're going to have more immediate short-term success in that. And right now, the NBA Save Mar model is 5-3, 62.5%. This is with 2 days of NBA. And we're plus 4.6 units from series betting. Guess what, everybody? I finally figured out how to use units in the series style betting, or the algorithmic style betting. I finally figured that out. And I'll post that so more people can have a more apples to apples comparison. So I think that'll help out a lot. And let me speak a little bit to that about the series betting and aggressiveness. The one thing I found out was, you know, when I had clients, at first the idea was, okay, well, you're on the ride with me, you're going to be doing what I do, betting the same percentages and things like that. But what ended up happening was it ended up making me more risk averse, because I thought, well, when you start playing with other people's money, or other people's bankroll, or people are dependent on your picks, definitely it made me less aggressive. Going from the 2-6 to the 2-5. Yes, I do switch algorithms every once in a while, based on expected winning percentage. But, definitely a mistake of mine. I'll admit all my mistakes, no problem. One definitely was I didn't stay aggressive enough. And even though MLB was pretty profitable, definitely having other people's money and bankroll in mind, I was definitely not as aggressive as I would like to have been. Just thinking back on everything. So the one thing about NBA and everything else that's going on is I can be as aggressive as I want. And right now I'm starting off with the 2-6 again. I'm sure a lot of people are pretty familiar with that, and I have the algorithm up on my website, www.solosportsinvesting.com. Check it out when you get the opportunity. And in addition to that, I'm actually going to be building something that's even a little more aggressive than that, maybe even a 7-stepper that'll help out quite a bit. I'm not going to a 5-step model here. I'm going to stay at 6 and maybe go more, and maybe even tweak the beginning and end units. We'll see. But right now I'm sticking to the 2-6 for at least 2 weeks until I get a little more data and can reverse engineer based on the SaveMar expectations in NBA. So that's what I'm looking at personally, and you'll see that what happens when I'm as aggressive as I would like to be. Another thing that I found was in the series betting, I was putting too much emphasis on criteria for a late series bet. So anyway, one of the other mistakes I made was in late series bets, I was putting too emphasis on the criteria instead of doing what I should and just slotting the games as they come along. And I think that kind of hurt my late series bet winning percentage, because I put too much emphasis into slotting the plays, and really that's not as important as it really is, as it seemed at the time, no doubt. So when I do NBA and any other sport, and when I'm slotting plays, I'm just going to slot them along as they occur, literally. And what I'll do is I'll go from East Coast to West Coast one day, and maybe West Coast to East Coast the next day, or but I won't be putting like some kind of waiting for like 2 weeks for a Series 6 bet or anything like that. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm slotting the plays as they come along. We're going to have a lot more open series because the SaveMar model kicks out a lot of plays, and that's the way we're going to be heading from now on. Also, we do have another addition to Team Solobase, another brilliant scientist, somebody who has an expansive and extensive knowledge on sports, and I think he's going to really bring a lot to the team. I think he really helped a lot in NFL last week, and I look for good things from him in the very near future. And I guess that's about it that I'd like to talk about right now. Thank you for tuning in. Have a most prosperous weekend, and happy wagering.